back to summary video. We are in Kelly Street in Cleveland, Ohio. And what we have is a fire escape here that's all original hardware, and the original hardware is rivets, indicating to me that this fire escape is 75 plus years old. A lot of the fire escape, there's some issues on this fire escape. I'm going to do two parts. I'm going to talk about this platform and this stair, and then I'm going to do the second part of my video from down below there to the next part, to the ladder. There's a possible catwalk issue that could be eliminated from this if we talk with the city official about the ladder down there. So let's start just up here first. First thing, fire escape must be structurally sound, must be kept painted as per code, and must be load tested. So fire escape has not been kept painted, so it does need a paint job. The issue with the paint is that the EPA states that any fire escape older than 1978 has lead, so you must be an EPA renovator licensed person to scrape and paint this fire escape. No power scraping, no sandblasting. You got to basically put a tarp down below, collect all the chips, must have a license, and you follow the EPA guidelines. Number two, structurally sound. The fire escape is not structurally sound at this time. We've got rust in many connections, but again, not a major amount of connections. But on this particular fire escape, which is fire escape number 2, unlike fire escape number 1, you're looking at about a 25% failure rate here on the structural. So we're going to discuss that in its various parts. And the fire escape is attached to this building, this metal building. And we have original hardware. I'm looking for evidence of strength. There's none. Some minor welding here and there that I see that came from a repair of some kind. But other than that, this fire escape is as original as the day it was built. So let's start off, first of all, with the platform. My biggest issue with the platform on all these rails. We have some failure rate where it's identified, and there's more. But any connection that has rust, you must clean it, and you must rebolt it, and you must seal it with silicone. Any minor connection left behind, you must clean it, and you must seal it from any future water intrusion if you are going to leave the rivets behind on the minor structural. So major structural is usually the corners, it's posts, it's brackets. Minors are anything that's more of the second or third line on these. But they're going to the top and the bottom is the major, the two lines in the middle is minor. But again, you got to seal them in order for them to pass. Now, you can spot repair this entire fire escape system, and then you proceed to a load test. This is about 2,500 pounds on this platform. There's going to be 2,500 pounds on that platform, and so on and so forth. And again, that's going to be calculated by the engineer of record to discuss that with the city official if they want to witness or just get a copy of the final report. The second thing you can do on this fire escape is you can avoid the load test every 5 years by refurbishing this fire escape 100%, which it's due. This fire escape should have been refurbished in the 25th to 50th birthday of the day it went up, and it never was. So this is a good time to refurbish this fire escape and avoid a load test altogether, and that's for the next 15 to 25 years. As long as you maintain it and keep it painted, seal every joint, you should be able to avoid the load test for the next 15 to 25 years by providing other evidence of strength to the city official. So with that, we have the standard. We have a ladder to the roof here. As you can see, original hardware on the ladder to the roof. All that's got to be swapped out if you want to avoid the load test. Otherwise, you got to clean it, seal it with silicone, and then provide a load test on this ladder. But as you can see, there's rust already in the connection. So as soon as you change the railings on the bolts on both sides, there is no load test, and you got to have the gooseneck over the top verified onto the roof. Okay, going down these stairs, I'm going to turn around and talk about the brackets. The brackets are all riveted and or bolted brackets with some welds. These are all, as you can see, rust growing in the connection, rust jacking on that one. So all of these got to be swapped out, cleaned, swapped out, new bolts. You avoid the load test on both platforms. See, over there we got some rust jacking happening on that one. See, so that's got to be done. The other one's got to be done. So as soon as you change all the bolts up here, no load test on the upper part. There was some damage from snow or ice on this platform. That's got to be straightened out. See the damage, the divot right there? All right, coming down, you got rust building up in joints in certain areas, okay? So all that's just got to be changed, so you can do a spot repair, seal the rest of the joints on these treads, clean everything, spot prime all the major rust, full coat of paint on this, and then you can proceed immediately to the load test. You change all these rivets, and all these connections get sealed. Again, all major connections must be changed on this fire escape, so the client should entertain the two prices to spot repair and load test, fully refurbish and avoid the load test. But anything that already has rust in it, there's no option. You have to clean it, you have to rebolt it, you have to seal it prior to the load test or prior to certification. So again, any rust. So this fire escape here plus that ladder is video number 1. Does not pass inspection. We cannot proceed. There's been some damage here on the second one, which we're going to talk about now. And this second one is going to be covering this platform, the ladder that's there, and a missing catwalk over the roof. Fire escape engineers, part 2. We're here in Kelly. This is fire escape number 2. And again, as we talked about on part number 1, this fire escape is not structurally sound, does not pass inspection, needs a paint job. We have lead paint here, so it's going to involve EPA renovator license activity to make sure you don't drop any of the chips to the ground. And she's got structural issues. One of the biggest structural issues that, to me, is a life safety concern is that these welds from down below, you can see they've already rusted from the inside out. So it's really a concern that I have here. The platform that goes across the orange mark, there's another connector that's gone, so that's not truly 100% supported. So again, all these connections, if you have rust in any connection, there's no choice. You have to remove 100% of any rust in any connection and rebolt it. Anything that remains, you must clean it, you must prime it, and you must seal it, so that the remaining connections that are in good to excellent condition must be sealed from any further water intrusion so that we can proceed to the load test. This right now is not, it's dipping, first of all, so I don't really know what's going on the inside. It's going to need further investigation. And when you come down, that angle that comes out is dipping. And so this staircase coming into it is dipping, and then that platform going there is dipping ever so slightly. So this whole area is suspect here. Coming back to the platform, same thing. If it's got rust in it, you got to clean it, you got to rebolt it. If you're going to avoid the load test, you got to change all the major structural rivets. If you're going to just load test it, then you got to fix every connection marked and unmarked. So it's not 100% of everything we have marked. There's some things that you'll find during work that must be done also. So do the spot repairs, and then you can proceed immediately to the load test. Let's talk about the brackets here, just like the upper above portion. These brackets all have rust jacking in them, so all of these brackets, both sides, have rust jacking. That's happening here. You got to verify what's going on behind this wall, make sure there's a through bolt there, or that it's tied. You have brackets on the other side here. So same thing that we talked above there, same thing that happens there. You can't have this. You have to have bolts. You can't have welded connections. You can keep existing welded connections, but it's starting to rust jack on all of these, and that's why I marked them in red. There's a dipping here. Any welded connection must have a bolt in it. We will not load test any weld that doesn't have a bolt in it. As we go down, similar problems with all your railings, get those fixed. But then you get over here, as you can see, she's not connected here anymore, she's not connected there anymore. And so it's from here to there, but there's the structural in the middle that's broken, so I'm going to have to be very careful when I cross over here. All right, the railing, as you can see, has got some issues. So standard, just got to get. Now here's the main issue, and what you're supposed to do is climb up this. Usually these are 7 feet plus above, so you don't bump your head onto this thing. So this is a pre-existing non-conforming structure. We have also bracket in this corner that was replaced with an inappropriate bracket connection. So right now you have expansion bolts, and those are like, my God, 1/4-inch expansion bolts. That's supposed to be a through bolt into the building with at least a 5/8 or a 3/4 rod at the very top, through bolt. So that's an unsupported corner over there. But what I want to do, so this is a life safety concern here also. What I want to discuss with the city official, because you're supposed to climb up here and then catwalk all the way down to that door down there. And then that door is going to feed you to the other side, to a cantilever on the other side. I believe, because you have a ladder system here as a means off this, I think we should reconfigure this whole area here so that there's a catwalk. Again, the city official will allow or not allow this to occur, and put this ladder facing all the way down to the ground so that there's that you reach here and you go down. A hole needs to be opened up here, at least 24 by 24. The area is locked up with a cage, so nobody can come in here and break in. So I would recommend that this gets all redone so that you use this ladder with an extension ladder, complete down to the grade. Otherwise, if you want it to come up, you need weights. It can be a split ladder with a weight so that it guillotines down, or it can be a fold-out ladder. But right now, this is going to hit your head when you come here. And the next video that I'm going to do is about the catwalk system that is missing on this roof, to find out if the city wants this to be a pre-existing non-conforming issue heading that way.